love to walk out to the end of my dock and stare at the river. And I've noticed that in the fall, the water, which is usually kind of muddy, becomes clearer. I hope this might be true of the stages of life, that with age we gain clarity, and that somehow in the fall of life we gain insight into experience. One area where my experience might be useful is that of work-family balance. 30-some years ago, I first moved to Savannah. My husband had just accepted his dream job in historic preservation, and I was in the middle of law school. And so I commuted weekly between Savannah and the University of Chicago, somehow managing 2 preschoolers, one of whom had a chronic disease. Later, after my career was launched, I found myself traveling around the world, handling acquisitions for a large multinational company. Again, leaving my now school-age children and a busy husband. Was there a secret to handling that balancing act? I believe the answer does not lie in efficiency or organization. If you're away and working hard because you're doing it for your family, if in your heart of hearts you long to be with them, they will know. The rest is just detail. But if your work is an excuse to be away, your family will smell it, and no amount of efficiency can make it right. I think we generally hit what we aim at. But what of balance itself? What is it really? I think it is simply that quality that keeps us from falling flat on our face. A couple of observations about balance. First, you have to have some inner heft, some weight, some ballast. Have you ever tried to balance a paper doll? You can't. There's not enough to it to balance. There's a bridge that I cross often, and at the beginning of the bridge is a little yellow sign that says, "Strong winds possible." And the sign itself is bent, as if in testimony to its own message. And when I read it, I think to myself, no shit, Sherlock. You think I don't know this? I've been through hurricanes. I've lost a husband and a son. I know life can knock us for a loop. We need spiritual ballast to withstand these winds and keep our balance. Have you ever noticed the big stones that pave River Street? They provided ballast for the ships that came to the colony to pick up exports. And those stones kept those ships from foundering at sea when they had no cargo and the winds came. I think we already have this ballast inside us. But if we lose touch with it, it's as though we don't have it at all. So let's get in touch. I'd like you to picture yourself at 2 days old. You don't look anything like you do now, and not one cell has survived from those days. But you're still you. And I would suggest that that you is a place of peace, wonder, and excitement that's stable throughout. This is how I got in touch with my inner ballast. I stopped and thought of something I had seen in nature in my life that was beyond beautiful. For me, that symbol is a starry night, so vast it fills me with peace and excitement simultaneously. I use it as a symbol in meditation to represent the real me, the me that can withstand any wind velocity. The me, when I'm in touch with this inner ballast, can stand any turmoil. There are two forces that threaten balance and can send us hurtling face forward like grappling hooks, pulling us to the ground. They both have to do with the distortion of time. The first is guilt. Guilt is basically experiencing something from the past as though it's happening now, and you need to do something about it now. It makes as much sense as trying to make a left-hand turn last Tuesday at 3:15. There's no going back. Suppose I told you to stop tying your shoes, and you said to me, "But I'm not tying my shoes." If you're not doing the thing now, you can't stop it or do it different. The past is just information. Information is useful, guilt is not. How would you like to be operated on by a surgeon racked with guilt? The second danger to balance is anxiety, and that involves a different time confusion. Anxiety is experiencing something that hasn't happened and probably never will happen as happening now. Mark Twain said on his deathbed, "I'm an old man and I've experienced a great many troubles, and most of them never happened." Now, when I feel myself feeling anxious, I ask myself this question: is there anything to be done right now by me? And if the answer is no, I say to myself, there's nothing to be done. After all, I can ask myself the same question tomorrow, see if there's anything to be done then. And so I wish for you balance, so full, lovely, enduring that you can dance, twirling madly on one foot and never fall, encumbered by neither guilt nor anxiety. And tonight, when I walk out on my dock and gaze into the sky and see those beautiful sparkles light years away, I will feel a contentment that comes from having heart and mind securely anchored in the present.